Okay, so I'm going to try this again and see how I can do this. I'm trying to learn how to use TikTok Live because I don't use it that often. So I'm not familiar with how to add people, have multiple people on at one time, how to get rid of somebody if you don't want to be on live with them. I'm just trying to figure out how to use this. Keep going. We're letting more viewers know that you're on live. Yes. All right. I don't know what this is. All right, y'all. So I'm trying to figure out how to bring somebody on that want to have this conversation because I want some feedback from my people tonight. I want to talk about the identity crisis in the Black culture. I would really like to have that conversation with somebody because I want somebody else's take on what they think of it. Why do you think people get upset at other people who look like them who don't identify the way they want them to? I just want to know where the anger comes from other people of color when others that look like them don't identify the way they want them to, or if they think another person that look like them isn't identifying the way that they should. What is that all about? Can somebody have this conversation with me? Usually when I go live, I'm talking about something myself, but today I want some feedback. Y'all talk to me. I want to have a two-way conversation with somebody. So speak up, y'all. Talk to me. If you are another person of color, if you are a melanated person, I would like for you to go live with me and have the conversation and talk about this conversation of why do other people of color get so angry at how other people of color identify if they're not identifying the way they want them to. Can somebody come live with me? Another melanated person. All right. Y'all don't want to talk about this. I'm going to just go on my podcast and have the conversation. I came here to talk to somebody live so somebody can come on here and give me their opinion about why they feel other people of color get so angry when other people of color don't identify the way they want them to. Does anyone have an opinion on this take? If you are another person of color, if you another Black person, I want you to come live with me and give me your opinion about why you think other Black people get so bent out of shape, angry, and upset at other Black people when they don't identify the way they want them to. Because I think that it's a mental illness, to be honest with you, for me. I think it's mentally ill to be so mad at somebody because they identify the way that they identify. And like everybody is so angry and mad at Megan Good because she went public and talked about her parents and her identity. And I'm like, why is everybody so mad at this woman for that? Because she talks about who her mother, what ethnicity her mother and father is. A lot of people who are fans to celebrities like to know things like that. So I'm trying to figure out why most of the Black people that saw that are angry. Why is everybody so mad at this woman? Because she spoke on her identity. I don't get that. Why do y'all want everybody to identify the way y'all think they should? What is up with this? It's definitely an identity crisis in our culture because we are very diverse people. So to get mad because somebody is not identifying the way you want them to, especially when they don't know you, is a mental illness, as far as I'm concerned. But I want to hear from somebody else. I want somebody else's take on why they think Black people get mad at other Black people when they don't identify the way they want them to, or people of color, other indigenous people. Some people identify as more American. Some people identify as indigenous. Some people identify as African American. Some people identify as just Black. Some people identify with their tribe, their nation, their tongue, their language. But why is it that people in the inner cities or those in urban cities of America get so upset at other people that look like them when they identify in a way that is uncomfortable to them. Why is it so important that if a person don't say they're black, they got to be self-hate or it's a lot of hate spewed upon them? I'm trying to understand that. 'Cause I honestly think it's mentally ill. Who is this wanting to come on? Lovely Debbie. All right. Talk to me. Come on,
Hello.
sis.
So break down. I'm trying to figure out like how you mean like what angle are you coming from with that?
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm gonna use this as an example. There's a post that's been floating around with Megan Good, and she's talking about her parents and her ethnicity. And I saw so much hatred spewed upon her because of that. And I'm just like, why is all these people mad? Because this girl is telling her fans, things, personal things about her. They're mad. You black. You trying to be something you not. You self-hate. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, our people really have that bad. Like, we're a very diverse people, even though we all share the same color skin. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And what she was doing was explaining to people what her DNA makeup was, which are things that people who like her as fans would want to know, typical stuff. But she got so much hate, and I just wanted somebody else's opinion of why they think that our people are so hateful or they get so riled up when people speak on their identity and it's not what they think is what they expect it to be, or they don't identify the way that they think they should.
I get where you're coming from. Personally, I'm probably like you thinking if that's what she identifies as and that's what her mindset is and her thoughts and her linkages, why would that make other people upset? It's her
Yes.
individuality. And I can see where you coming from. Like, I think a lot of our folks, not all, let's say some, jump on the bandwagon because it's monkey see, monkey do. They see everybody else doing it, so I want to get a part of that too. And it's irritating because people, not all people, I keep trying to. I see a lot of these content creators, and I hate they be like y'all, and I be like not all, some.
Right.
So now I see it's not a generalized statement, but at the end of the day, I for one think she's a good actress. Um, if that's her individual thing, if that's what she identifies as, let her be her. Let her be great in what she does. She's living her own life. She's doing it how she wants to do it. I believe, sis, a lot of folks think that they can dictate what a celebrity can and cannot do, as if
Right.
our opinion sways their mentality. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
I think you on to something, and I applaud you for, like let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's like why is that going on? It is a thing, and it needs to be talked about, and it's not spoke on enough. I see a lot of that going on TikTok all over. It's like, come on, it's almost 1,000 people in here. You mean 800 of you guys all got the same opinion? Like seriously, people are afraid to say, yeah, I don't agree with that. A lot of times because you're attacked because you stand with a different opinion. I'm with you. I think if she wants to have her own lineage, if that's how she feels, if that's what she's studying, that's what she want to be, so be it. Let her do her thing. But I,
Right.
I I need to look that up. I didn't know they hit her with that much hate. I didn't
Oh
know that.
my baby, they dogged her out so bad. I mean, I see it constantly. I've seen it over the years. Our people do that to one another. The minute somebody
Mm-hmm.
identified with their own personal DNA history,
Mm-hmm.
because we
Mm-hmm.
are all mixed up with something different. All of us are. And
Facts. Mm-hmm.
somebody came on there and said, "Well, we're all mixed up with something. Carry on. Like,
Wow.
hell, you ain't special and you ain't different. You're still just black." And I'm just like, that's hatred.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we're all mixed up with does make us different. And it's okay for us to be different because that's what makes the world go round. Like we are a very diverse people, but we have not been taught to embrace that,
You want something?
you
You want
know?
to it? My daughter did that ancestry DNA,
Hmm.
and it was a lot in there, baby. I was like, who? She was like, you my mother, so you. I said, well, you got the paternal as well. And it had some Scottish, some Sweden, some
Hmm.
England. I mean, a lot of hers was 30% non-African American. Then you got to look. You got the paternal and the maternal. And I said, it's crazy because we know they say if you get like that, that back in the day saying 10% of this or 10% of that, you consider black. But
Right.
why can't you embrace all of it? You're not doing away with the melanin of your skin. You just embracing everything that makes you who you are.
Exactly.
Let's just say most of us folks, we have been watered down throughout the centuries.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then I think about the closer you are to the sun, Ethiopian wise, Sudanese, our folks there, closer to the sun, you're going to have a different melanated skin. But at the end of the
Right.
day, we can't just dismiss that however our ancestors got to where we are at today, we are a part of that diversified ancestry.
Yeah.
So why can't we embrace a part of what it is? I'm gonna let you in on the sun. So I messed with my kids. So I put on the song God Bless the USA. My daughter like, you don't turn that off. I said, no. Here's the thing. You know that song, I'm proud to be an American.
Right.
So I'm born and raised. I said, no, I'm gonna change up the words. I'm proud to be a black American. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
earned our right. Our ancestors were here just like the others. Some of us were brought across, some of us was already here. Why
Yes.
can't we embrace being a black American? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And be
Right.
proud of that. Or if we're mixed up because of our ancestry, of what our parents and great grandparents and great grandparents, why can't we embrace a little of that? Even though it's not accepted by a lot of the places that our genetics are linked up to, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, and the people, the majority of us were already here. And
Hmm.
I think it's a tragedy because they did such uh, a thing with us when they destroyed our roots, when they changed,
Hmm.
they wrote us off by pen and all that type of stuff, and they made us, somebody else is wanting to come in as well too, and bring them in as well. And they took away our ability to still be able to tap into our 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 original roots. But
Yep.
some of our family members were
Hmm.
already still connected to that. Like I took the DNA ancestry test as well,
Hmm.
but that test didn't tell me that I was a Fulani girl. It
Uh-uh.
didn't tell me that I was Taino. It didn't tell me I was Creek. Now my Creek ancestry, I've always known about that because that comes from my mother's side. They've
Okay.
always been in connection with their family's roots, and they were not slaves.
Mm.
Well, it wasn't white either. You understand what I'm saying?
That's some good info.
They come on with it. You feel me? And
Wow.
now my Taino roots is a mixture of my grandmother and my father's side.
Okay.
Now, I've been digging for my ancestral roots. I want to say since 2013,
That's deep.
and it's 2024. So just imagine how much information I've gotten since then. Now I did
Mm-hmm.
get connected with a relative, with some relatives from taking the DNA test that did were able to give me more information about other parts of me that gave me a complete story of who I was. So that's how I learned that I was Fulani as well. My Fulani
Mm.
and my Fulani roots goes back to the Arakians, the Aztecs. They were all people that look like us. So when
Wow.
you say you are these things today, because of the images people see, they automatically think you're trying to say you're something other than what you are
Mm.
because of the ignorance. They
Mm.
don't know. that the original people always looked like this first until
Let's go.
colonization, not because of
Mm-hmm.
slavery. They'll say, well, you only this because of slavery. No, I'm this
No.
because people started not looking like me. That's what part of that tribe because of colonization,
Come
not
with
because
it.
of slavery. See, they came on our Plymouth Rock landed on us. We didn't land on.
We ain't laying on Plymouth Rock, but come on now.
See what I'm saying? And this is where I have the issue because all of the stuff that we are mixed up with, it's not because we was in slavery, because they brought us.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they came on our land and they came with their guns. You know what I'm saying? They came
Mm-hmm.
with their forces and things of that nature and stole our stuff and did the damage what they did to us. So, that where the hate comes from, I feel, is that I feel like it comes from the people the most that are not in contact and in tune with who they really are.
That's true.
If they really knew themselves, then it wouldn't bother them so much for other people to identify with their own self knowledge.
I love that. It
So,
makes you feel like, how can you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? Like,
yeah,
even now, still trying to figure out the direct lineage and going far back, having a conversation, and then I'm serious now. I asked my father, this was last year, where did your mother and father, where were they originally born? And where was their mother and father originally born? And where was their, I mean, I'm trying to get as much information from him as I can to try to take it back as far as I can so that I can let my kids pick up the reign and go from there. And when
yes,
he started talking, I was like, what? Huh? It went all the way from Alabama to Mississippi to Georgia to the grandparents on my father's side. And on my mother's side, she took it all the way back to, ironically, a plantation where she remembered her her grandmother raising her, because my mother is 70, raising her up until she was 10. And her grandmother was getting paid a small amount of wage, was still working on a plantation, ironically, but getting some money. Not like picking cotton. I don't want to say plantation, picking
right.
cotton. But prior to that, her great great grandmother had been on. People think this is far removed. This is just on my mother's side, and
Mhm.
she wants to go back, like to Alabama. And I told her, like, if I get some money, and I want to take you there. We need to get to the library, see as many of your family members on your mother and father's side. I really need to get this information to break it down so I can give it to my kids so I can understand. And I feel like not all the way where I want to be. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're
Yes.
able to identify what you just spoke about, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like, wow. I'm trying to get this before, the elders get to passing away. We need this information. It's like coming from traditional black families, it was so much like, don't talk, don't walk. Like, you couldn't really ask them questions when we was
Well,
kids. Like, where they from?
they would, they were in fear of talking about our natural roots because they would unalive you for that back then.
Right, right, right,
They
right.
couldn't talk about it. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the elders still knew a lot of information. They
Mm-hmm.
got so trained to shut up and just go along with whatever the government was telling them to do at the time in fear of their lives and things of that nature. We lost count, we lost track of who we were. So that now
Yep.
many of us are returning back to those roots that now that we're dealing with this awakening, the age of Aquarius, and all of those things are coming to the light. Things are being exposed. We're getting that momentum back up again. For
Yep.
those who are doing the digging, those who are understanding that most of us were already here. This is our land. We are at
Right.
home. We didn't travel over here on no darn boat. I still have not. I've been digging in my ancestry since 2013.
Wow.
I found ancestry from my mother, my father, their parents, and and my mother's parents. I was able to go all the way back to like around the 1400s and dig.
Woo! girl, what?
Found one slave yet.
Wow.
I ain't found not one. I ain't saying I didn't have no slaves in my family. I said I haven't found one in my records yet.
Okay.
But you know what that says to me? That a lot of us who think that we were slaves and our families were slaves, some of our family members were not. All of us wasn't slaves.
That's
But
true.
they want you to think that. They want to put that and embed that into your mind. And
Mm-hmm.
it's indoctrination. The same thing they did to us with religion. It's indoctrination. If they can make you think
Mm-hmm.
everything about your history is slavery and everything about you is slavery, then you're going to continue with that mentality. That's why I feel we're stuck on you're black, you're African American. And it's like they
Mm-hmm.
started telling us to say that in 1988, African American.
Right. Come through. Come through.
You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? They didn't change. We're the only people on the planet that's had our identity, our classification changed multiple times.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
None of them was decided by us.
Come on now.
You know what I'm
Woo.
saying? So
Deep.
I want our people to think about this because we get so nasty with each other based off of
Mm-hmm.
the way people choose to identify. If I say I'm Indian or Creek Indian Taino, oh yeah, but if you get pulled over by the police, you giving them too much power. Who gives a damn what they think? Who gives a damn
Mm-hmm.
how they see me? We ain't talking about them. Who are you? And a lot of us can't answer that question like you were just
That's
saying
right.
to your father those questions.
Mm-hmm. It's
And he
true.
couldn't answer you effectively the way that you needed him to. I appreciate you for coming on and talk about this because I haven't been able to get any people to talk about this.
Yeah, this is the real discussion. This is like real authentic TikTok. This ain't the just the drama and you know what I'm talking about, girl.
All that
You know, they got
relationship.
that, yeah,
Yes,
that
yes.
messy talk. This the real stuff. This is what people stray away and run away from, but this is what it should be about. Especially if we have children, there are legacies. If I'm lost as a mother, my children gonna be lost. And my one daughter, she's my youngest. She just turned 18. She asked my mother, "How was your childhood?" And now my mother's able to explain to her, like, wow, oh, well, this happened, in my childhood, da 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 da. I couldn't really ask my mother that as a child. I started finding out about her childhood when I became an adult. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? And I was raised up in strict Kojic church religion, where my whole mindset with the institution of religion is totally different. Because now I'm adult, I can make my own decision about not force feeding my children something that I felt was force fed to me. I believe in a higher power in God, not the religion aspect of it, because it's not traditionally the roots of where I feel connected to, if you know what I mean.
Speak,
Cause
Queen. I'm all the
come
way,
on,
all the
come
way.
on.
That is the biggest one. Another one of our biggest issues in this culture is religion.
Come on.
It's created such a delusional reality for so many
Mm-hmm.
of us. And it trickles down to culture, identity, all of that. All
Yep.
of that. They gave us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like we know this, but we don't tend to allow it to absorb deep enough for us to realize the deep seated effects that it has on us as far as even
Ooh.
down to our identity and how we see one another. We don't realize that.
It's deep.
It,
I'm going to say, even now at 51, I'm still struggling with everything that was put into me, religiously speaking. And when you break down the KJV, you know what I'm talking about, and the Constantine, and at the time when that book originally came out, it
mhm.
has so many parables, but a lot of that was recreated and recreated and recreated. And when I tried to have those discussions with my father, we would be at a disdain. I respect you as my biological father, but I don't agree with you on where this book originated from. But I still believe in God. So it's always head bumping because
Right.
he's staunch in being a reverend. That's what I taught. I said, yeah, but if you look at it, and I'm trying to talk about
Come
the
on.
breakdown, you know what I'm saying? The conference
Yes.
that was in Nicaea. Come on, it wasn't the trio. It was just one God. And it gets deep, and I just have to leave it alone because he don't want to go into it. But it's
You know, I
frustrating for me because all of this was
like the
embedded for me from a child, and then when I get older I start reading, educate
yes.
myself, can't put down the book, and I'm like, no wonder I always felt disconnected with the religion part but never with God. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I used to be Christian. I grew up in a household of Christian. A Christian. I used to be Jehovah Witness.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible thoroughly for over 25 years. I was in theocratic school ministry. I used to knock on people's doors. I've given Bible studies. I've given talks on the podium. We used to go
Come
down
on with it.
there.
Yep.
So, baby, let me tell you, everything you're saying is a part of that awakening in that awakening season that we're in right now with the age of Aquarius,
Mm-hmm.
enlightenment. It's like that veil is being washed away because of at this point in time we're going into another age to where the reality is changing and that veil is wearing off. The veil of hierarchy, religion, the age of Pisces, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start really reading that book without anybody trying to tell you what to think of it and what to make of it, and you use your own God-given common sense,
Come
that's
on. Come on with it.
you start to see that nah, this book wasn't. We about to understand this game. Somebody got some explaining to do. You know
Something not
what?
adding up.
Explaining to do. And you go to your religious leaders and ask questions, and then you get scolded for that, or they
Come
shut
on.
or want you to
Yep.
shut it. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they know they can't explain it because they know that we've been lied to, and a lot of the leaders know that too. But they a lot of that's their bread and butter.
Oh
They
yeah.
tell the congregation the truth. They
Ain't
lose.
nobody gonna be in there.
Come on, come on.
They've been bamboozled. Do you
Like
understand what I'm saying?
Malcolm X
They've
said
been
it
you been
best.
come on, girl.
Even
And
back
when
then, they knew our identity was false.
yep. Ooh, that's deep.
Martin Luther King tried to tell us, and when he got ready to tell us the truth, before he got ready, they took him out.
They sure did. And that
These are
happens all
all
the
of this
time.
integration stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You'll see it.
the problem.
It
We got
starts manifesting. And
yeah.
I tell my girls, because I got 3 girls, and I said, I'm not going to do to you guys what was done to me. I'm never going to force feed religion, but I am going to teach you what worked for me, that there is something bigger out here that you can lean and depend on. Because from us, it was 6 of us, and I'm talking about strict religion. 18 years old, first time ever put on pants, had to wear shirts with sundresses, socks with flip flops. You know what I'm saying? Going to go witnessing. They're
Yes.
all. So you get what I'm saying, and it never made sense to me. Like, but why does it take all that to do this? And then when I look at the churches today, it's like I'm so just aggravated because before you even get in the door, people are judging people. They done made it about all this fashion, who get to sit on the first pew, you know what I'm saying, who you related to, how much money in your bank account. What that got to do with God? If you using the KJV, Jesus in the highway and the hedges. So when did y'all turn this into a money thing? Because it should be given back, not taken in. Come on.
And see, and that's what makes so many of us walk away from it. And then they
Come
try
on.
to trip you and tell you, oh, well, God didn't do it. Well, God is allowing it. And that's telling you
Mm-hmm.
He's going to allow you to have your free will. I don't think I need to be here. I don't need to be here. You're not going to keep giving me alopecia. I'm gaining, I'm gaining and losing weight for no reason because I'm here to deal with your negativity. I'm not here for
Yep.
that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Everything you just said, God, is on point. And I mean, a lot of people don't realize today that their children are atheists. And the reason why is because
Come
somebody
on, girl, you on to it. Watch out now.
they don't
Mm-hmm.
even know that their children are sitting up in them churches and the mosques and in them temples. They're atheists. And they
Yep.
sit, oh, my child this, my child's on a pew, my child is this, my child. Yeah, but when your child hit 25, 30, your feelings is going to be hurt. And a lot of
Woo!
now they can't keep the attention. And the reason why is because our children are not like we were. They're not falling for that. It was a man that was in
Yep.
a belly of a fish for 3 days, and that Noah's Ark. They not believing that.
No, ma'am.
They're
No,
not.
ma'am.
No, they're not falling for all of that. You giving them a picture of a Caucasian man in
Come on now.
2020, 1999 is 2000. You mad because your kid don't want to go to church? Well, that's because you keep trying to force them into believing what your concept of God was because it was forced on you, like you said earlier.
It's so true. I remember
It's
my brother
are
is
you today?
a bishop, right? And girl, we fell all the way out. I'm just saying. And I just said before we reached that level, because it had to get all with religion. I said, let me ask you something. Because when you was in jail, I'm just taking it there, you were under the Afrocentric studies. Then you came out and you still said you were studying the Afrocentric wave. Why you got a Christmas tree in your church?
Come on, baby.
Do you understand? Why is it a Christmas tree in your church when you
Yeah,
break down what the meaning of Christmas is? And why you celebrating Easter if you break down what the real meaning of Easter is about procreating?
come
And
on.
Esther, you already know where I'm going with that. But this propaganda you spreading, and then you following a religion that's mixed with Catholic, and then a lot of it is mixed with hoodoo and voodoo. And when the drums get to beating, y'all jumping around, but that's not the Catholic way. But you still doing a cannibalism thing. You
Come
you
on.
drinking the blood, and when you eating of the flesh, that's make it make sense. So
Come
why
on.
is it sacrilege in one culture, but it's lifted up in another?
Come on.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? It get deep if you really
Called a witch.
start getting into it. You
I get
see what I'm
called a
saying?
witch all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Called a witch all the
Mm-hmm.
time because I like
Woo.
because of what I do. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I have to ask them, like, I'm very in tune with my ancestors. So me getting to know who I was and
Mm-hmm.
is what gave me I started to become empowered.
Oh yeah. Oh
Then
yeah.
when I understood who I was
Mm-hmm.
genetically, then that also aligned with my purpose. It gave me not only purpose, it gave me agility, it gave me power. I defeated my depression. I suffer from depression all my life.
Girl, let me get these lights up in here. You doing the thing. You
I
make sure you follow me back too.
Yes, matter of fact, let me do that now. Make sure I'm doing that now. I used to be suicidal. All of that. I went through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to defeat that monster. Or when I started to realize and understand who I was, what my ancestry was. I was able to do that. That opened doors for me to tap into my own damn ancestry and started practicing spiritual things that my ancestors did it.
Ooh. I think
Or
we both on a deeper level than we on a deeper level, sis. I mean, real deep, because I feel you, and I as well too. I take it real deep. I do my chakras. Do you understand what I'm saying? I do
yes,
a lot of things to spiritually lift me up in the levels connected to what our roots originally were. Because until folks educate themselves about what our original roots are, then you start understanding why this makes sense over here and why that didn't make sense. How I was raised up over there, because it starts clashing. Because back in the day, you know what I'm saying? All this goes into the brainwash. And when you start waking up, you start pulling away. Folks gonna get to dropping off because you becoming true to you and
come
yourself.
on,
And
come on.
I got a diagnosis too. They say you crazy. I said with a K, because I'm not just gonna stand on what you saying and believe what you telling me to believe. I
Did you say
stand
that
on
one more time?
business.
You
Girl,
told
with
him.
a capital K. Create with a capital K. What's good? What you talking about? I
I
used to
love.
wait to talk to my father, like, so what we doing today?
And if that this awakening has caused so many families to separate. I don't even deal with a lot of my relatives who are disconnected from our slave mentality of religion, because that's all religion is. It gives us a slave mentality.
Ooh, girl, you speaking on it. Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I say? The struggles. I have to pray constantly every day to try to break the chains of what was brainwashed. It's still a cult. Like I told my brother, I said, that's a circus and I refuse to be a clown. I don't want to be a part of your circus anymore. That don't make sense. You
Yes.
can't answer me or break down this scripture. So why am I following something that you as a pastor can't break down? Well, what you mean? I'm going to get back to you now. No, I need you to tell me now. If that's the word, so give me a word. Because that word you given don't equate to a sentence. It can't give me a paragraph. The report you given don't add up. The math ain't mathing.
Yep.
Bruh. Do you
They don't.
understand what I'm saying?
I went through it all.
Ooh,
I went through it
I'm
all.
telling you.
That
I'm
Kingdom
telling
Hall
you.
was horrible.
Woo.
That Kingdom Hall was horrible, honey. I mean, you talking about gossip. You talking about uh I ended up getting married. That went left. It was a disaster. Girl, it was so nasty. We got to the point to where I thought I was getting ready to have to uh post office, go postal up in there.
Ooh.
Because they
What
was
is your zodiac?
I'm a cancer.
I'm a Leo.
I'm a Cancer Leo Cusker.
Let's go.
That's why we moving like that.
You understand? I
Yes.
always said to myself, I said, when folk fake and they fall off, God will put somebody real in your presence
Yep.
and you'll have that conversation. You'll know right from the fake, no fake, real, no real.
Come
And
on.
I tell my kids, I said, I don't do fake. I'm a woman of substance. I believe in it all. I got stretch marks. I am 51 going on 52. I am Gen X in here and I don't play. I said, I match energy. If you good, I'm good. If you ain't good, I'm going to let you know. We not good.
That's
So where we going with this? You could go left, I could go right. Unless we gonna meet in the middle where we can move on from here, or we gonna have some understanding. Accountability goes both ways, which is
that's
why I think when they did that, or why they're doing that with Megan, these folks are wrong for judging this woman for identifying and finding herself. If that's how she found
and
herself, let
if
her be.
they're mad because she's telling her mix up from her parent. These is her parents, her biological parents.
Wow.
I think her father was like Puerto Rican, black and Puerto Rican, or indigenous Indian and Puerto Rican, and her mother was like I can't remember what she said her mother was. Jewish and something else. African and Jewish, and then her dad was from Barbados or something like that. But I'm like, why are they mad at this? Because this girl is offering this to her fans and for the people. Calling her a sellout. Hey,
How? How do they equate that to sellout or her finding the diversity? What's the word?
the thing is, she always knew who she was.
I
Because
love
those
that.
mother and her father. You know what I'm saying? And so if that's the
Right.
makeup of her mother and her father, then that's the makeup of her too. She never said she wasn't black.
Mm-hmm.
I was just mad at her because she was telling her identity and it came with labels other than black.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a travesty. I think it's sad. I think that's a lot of that is jealousy. A lot of that is envy. Our people are so hateful to one another that it doesn't take much. You
It's
know?
sickening to me. And I'm going to say again, when I see this messy TikTok, because my younger daughter told me about it, I said, the messiness. These people got thousands and thousands of people. That's not what we represent. The education. You got they talking about foolish stuff. She like, "Ma, why you watching?" I said, "I can't keep watching it." I said, "These black women, not all, but
Yep.
these messy TikTokers. That's not real content. That's mess. That's
Yes.
drama. That's not what we're about. It's real women out here, not a color thing, not just black women, women of all color that stand on business.
Yep.
Like really, like, no, I'm not on that. It goes beyond the color of our skin, and if we can learn to embrace that it's real women of all colors, then we can come together. Real men of all color, people coming together without it being a color thing. Cause we're not born with that racist stuff. That stuff is taught.
No.
That's learned. You know what I'm saying? So why not embrace everything about you to become whole?
And that's the whole thing. Saying a lot of people can't do that because they don't know what their wholeness is. And I feel like
Right.
those are the ones
Right.
who get jealous of those that do. But my thing is, go pay a couple dollars and go dig up your record and figure
Yes,
out
ma'am.
instead of taking all of this hate and putting it off on other people because you're mad. Because, you know, I'm going to tell you, if you need a passport to go to Africa and you live in America, your ass is not African American. That's how you shut that down.
Facts.
Right? If you take
It's
passport, if you take your ass over there to Africa, then you ain't African.
come with it.
Passport to go somewhere that you have citizenship to. Indigenous too. We are not in, we a lot of us are not indigenous to that land. I don't give a damn
Amen to
if we
that.
have relations to it or not. We do have relations to it. We're just not indigenous to it. Some of us are. Some of us are indigenous, right? What the heck we are. Bottom
It's
line,
so true.
you know?
I looked at if you look at that movie, was it 13 or 12 Years a Slave or something? That man was a free man that was taken because of his color and put into slavery. I don't know if you saw that movie,
I
but
didn't
there
watch
were
it. I've never seen it. You know, I quit watching dealing with slavery years ago.
yeah.
I quit watching it because we have to stop. If we keep perpetuating and spending money on it, I don't particularly watch those movies anymore because it's the same story over and over again. They show that stuff to us so they can keep it embedded in our minds that this is the way we need to think and view each other and think about ourselves. And I don't let my kids, you know, they don't watch it on their own. Now they're grown, but when they were younger, let them watch certain things, but I wouldn't allow it to be a regular thing with them. Okay, now you done seen this. This is what you do, but this ain't your origin. So, you know, I'm not gonna drill this in your mind and make you think that you know your ancestors were slaves. Your ancestors were never slaves. Your ancestors.
And only one thing can make a morning like this.
I'm glad that you were able to find the information and the know-how and the knowledge, because knowledge is power.
Yes, when you know what to do with it. Yeah, I agree. I definitely thank you so much. I did follow you back. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. I think you really satisfied my need because I wanted to hear from another person, another melanated individual, why they felt so hateful when it comes down to how others to identify. When we are a very diverse, we're the only culture of people that we come in different shades. We the only people that are like that.
Yep.
We have different hair textures. You know,
Yep.
we have it's everything. You know, we're different. We and we're unique people. And I think that you know, if we knew how to embrace our own uniqueness, we would be able to really build something much stronger for our upcoming generations of talking about relationship crap all day and what a man and a woman and reminiscing. We going across seas, we getting our passport, all this dumb stuff. Like you said, it's mindless content.
Yes, it goes nowhere. The link up, it just be disturbing. It's sad, and when you try to input something that makes sense to educate our folks, it's just not hitting because it's the drama. The drama sells. The drama keeps them to keep this content going. I said, and this is what they want. not the
Yep.
motivation, not the inspiration. Talk about your day. Talk about you can do it how you want to do it, but there's no one in here or you're not accepting the folks that's saying or spewing what we're trying to spew. That there are real women out here that's finding a connection, saying go educate yourself, saying go find your ancestry, saying stand on business, saying there's nothing wrong with loving you in the skin you're in and knowing where you come from, so that way you can know where you're going.
You
Stay
know,
linked up, boo.
a lot of people only want to hear that when it comes. Our culture have been taught so patriarchally that that they accept it more when it's coming from a male than they do from a
Mm-hmm.
from feminine. They expect, like when we talk about the Black Messiah, they expect to be a male. So like I tell people, well, guess when people was being freed from slavery, that didn't come from the male. It came from a little short afro height woman called
Yep.
what was her name?
Harriet
Harriet Tubman.
Tubman. Let's go.
She was the Black Messiah at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Little
Mm-hmm.
young lady, the divine, the ancestors, whatever people want to believe in. That's who was used to bring freedom to the people. It come in a masculine form. I feel like a lot of our people like to shut women down because they don't want to hear what we have to say. They want to listen to the males. That the males are the only ones that are fit to be leaders in this culture. Another strike against us because we miss so much because the feminine energy is the healing power.
Come on now.
Not heal without the feminine energy. You
Let's go.
can't even elevate and manifest correctly without the proper feminine energy. So for them to shut us down like that, we're the original oracles, we're the original sibyls and original high priestesses. We're the ones that can
Let's
find
go.
visions too. That's giving us prophecies. We're the ones receiving that information. So for them to shut us down like that, and then to be so condescending towards us and so misogynistic towards us, they missing out. This is the reason why we have these conversations. If we were two men having these conversations, this live would be jumping.
Yeah, come on.
Jumping.
Mm-hmm.
Women on here trying to talk. It'll be 50 men on here trying to talk. But guess what? Because it's us, don't nobody want to hear what we have to say.
Exactly. But because it starts with us. And this don't have to be the last time, because I think we really on it too with a lot of that religious aspect and just
Yes.
breaking down the real. So we gonna have to link up again. Hit me up.
Yes.
We gonna have to communicate, because you a real sister, and I'm glad you did that, because that eased my mind tonight. I'm gonna have me a good night's sleep.
Me too, Queen. I appreciate it. Too. And we definitely gonna come back on here again. I did get a chance to follow you, so we gonna keep it. Let's do this again. Thank you so much. I'm on Facebook too at NYERESANC. I'm going to download this and I'm gonna put it on Facebook.
Let's go. You can
Let's
find
go.
me on Facebook too. I ain't got a lot of people on there because I be going through Operation Delete. But I'm Ann Washington, ANN Washington. It
Okay.
should be I think I got my Lola on. Lola is my wig because I change her up because I be bored. But I used to rock a natural short fro. That's what I do. Unless I get bored, I throw me a wig and I be look like, who said what? Who gonna fight me? Nobody. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
I'm gonna message you on TikTok because I'm trying to figure. I'm still learning how to work this up. I'm gonna just Facebook. So I mean, on Instagram, my name. So when you look, you gonna know it's me because I got the same things. And you gonna see my little eye on there, my little half eye like that.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yup. And then that way we can connect on Facebook. So we gonna do this again. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate
Thank you, babe. Thank you for bringing it up. You kept it real.
You did
I'm
too.
just gonna say I fucks with that. Let's go.
Go.
All
High
right,
five,
Queen. Have a good one. High five and boo. Take care.
Queen.
Okay, babe. Bye bye.